Hello everyone, welcome to the first lesson on ancient Egypt by me, Ivory from EdEquity. First, we're going to be starting with the location of ancient Egypt. On the right hand side is a map of ancient Egypt. The Mediterranean Sea is to the north of ancient Egypt and the Red Sea is to the east of ancient Egypt. There is also a very important river called the Nile River that runs through Egypt. We will be talking more about the Nile River today too. Now, what are pharaohs? Pharaohs are the rulers of ancient Egypt, and the citizens believe that he was one of the gods. The name Pharaoh means great house. Some of the famous pharaohs are Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, Khufu, and Amenhotep III. And now we'll be talking about the timeline of ancient Egypt. Since ancient Egypt was a civilization that lasted a very long time, archaeologists split the timeline up into 3 periods: Old Kingdom, Middle Kingdom, and New Kingdom. Each of the periods contains different dynasties. People generally think that there are 31 dynasties over the course of the 30,000 years of Egyptian history. First, we're going to start with the Old Kingdom. The Old Kingdom was a period of time that lasted from 2575 BC to 2150 BC. During these 400 years, Egypt was very prosperous and the government was very strong. There is a time period that is famous for building pyramids, and even the Great Pyramid of Giza was built during this time. Moreover, the Sphinx was also built during the Old Kingdom. The Old Kingdom fell because the government became powerful and started to ignore the pharaoh. Egypt was also experiencing drought or famine during that time. This eventually caused the central government to collapse and break into several independent states, which marks the beginning of the first intermediate period. Now we'll be talking about the Middle Kingdom. The Middle Kingdom occurred after the first intermediate period. The Middle Kingdom is a period of time between 1975 BC to 1640 BC. During this time, Egypt was back together and had a single government and pharaoh. They made many developments in statue carving and art during this time. The Middle Kingdom ended when the pharaoh's control of Egypt began to weaken and a group of kings in northern Egypt split it from southern Egypt. This marks the beginning of the second intermediate period. Last but not least, the New Kingdom. The Egyptian Empire conquered the most land during the New Kingdom period. They took over lands to the south such as Kush and Nubia. They also took control of land in the east such as Israel, Syria, and Lebanon. They also traded with many nations around the world. Since the pharaohs got wealthy from trading, there were also many temples built during this time. The pharaohs in this period were also buried in the Valley of the Kings and not pyramids. The third intermediate period was caused because they were under attack from foreign powers. After that, the Assyrians managed to conquer most of Egypt by 650 BC. Now, we'll be talking about the very important Nile River. The Nile River was very crucial to the lives of ancient Egyptians. The Nile provided them with food, transportation, materials, and more. It is also the longest river in the world and is over 4,000 miles long. The Nile River helped agriculture because whenever it flooded, silt, which is good soil from the bottom of the river, would go onto the farmlands, which is great for growing crops. The Nile River was also an important source of building material. They took mud from the river and turned them into bricks. The Nile River also gave the Egyptians a method of transportation, and boats were used to carry people and goods to different parts of Egypt. Now, we'll be talking about the important cities. First, Memphis. During its peak, Memphis was considered to be one of the largest cities in the world during that time. It was a center of religion and was home to many temples. The second one is Thebes. Thebes became the capital of Egypt around 2135 BC. It was a very political and religious city. The Valley of the Kings is located near Thebes. Last but not least, Alexandria. Alexandria was the capital from 332 BC to 641 AD. It became the capital after Alexander the Great conquered Egypt. It was known as an intellectual center and it was home to a great library. Well, that's it for today. I hope you guys learned something new, and if you have time, please do the worksheet on this video, since it will greatly improve your understanding and help you remember the important concepts. See you guys next time. Bye!